Platforming unfunny bigots is the way that NBC is wishing us all a very happy Thanksgiving. So there is a comedian, that's in quotes by the way, whose name is Amber Ruffin, who has received a show on a subsidiary of NBC, their Peacock network. I bring this to your attention because she is being platformed by the mainstream media apparatus, and her divisive message is brought to hundreds of thousands, if not even millions more people than it otherwise would reach because of this executive decision. I'm going to show you a clip of her talking, and I'm going to interject several times as we break down her message of hate.
Ever since the election, there's been a lot of talk in the media online and maybe even in your white family's group chat.
Oh, well, this is going well. She's already distinguishing white people. I'm positive that there's going to be no more racial division throughout the rest of the video. I've got my faith. Stay tuned.
About how it's a time to reach out to Republicans who are upset about the election.
The election ain't over yet.
About how it's important to build bridges to Trump supporters and to find common ground with them. And I just wanted to let each and every person out there know that you 100% absolutely do not have to do that. In all honesty, I would suggest you don't, and here's why.
She doesn't believe that we should reach across the aisle, that we should have peace. What a joyous person.
Trump supporters are racist, and if you create a space for racists to thrive, they will.
I, Amber Ruffin, do declare that Trump supporters are nothing more than racists. Not some Trump supporters, all of them.
And is that something you want? Truly, can Cindy come over to your house and be like, yuck, Mexicans?
Don't engage with somebody that you disagree with. After all Trump supporters who come over to your house are spontaneously going to erupt with the term, yuck, Mexicans. That is a vile lie. I would never say that. I prefer the term beaners. That, of course, is what is called a joke. I have to say that because a certain percentage of people out there are going to remove the context and sarcasm out of the statement. Because, like this so-called comedian who is on NBC, is being paid a decent sum of money to spout out this hateful rhetoric. And most people on the left have zero senses of humor, which is why they're always angry. Like Amber Ruffin.
Because if so, you are providing a safe place for her racism to flourish. Don't be like that. Giving a racist your time and energy is like giving a seed water and light. It helps them grow into a flower, but not a normal flower, one of those terrifying flowers from Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh wait, that was a fake laugh. If I was sincerely entertained, I'd be using jazz hands so as not to offend the woke people out there. She is not funny in the least. Actually, she's dead wrong as well, because the ability to confront someone else's idea with your own is what occasionally helps to stunt the growth of bad ideas. If an idea that is offered with respect to somebody else is superior to the idea that they previously held, there is a chance that it can break through and supplant the old one. This is exactly how jazz musician Daryl Davis got over 200 members of the KKK to turn over their Klan robes to him, because he engaged with them respectfully, because he showed them why their ideas weren't beneficial to them or other people. By the way, the same woke crowd, the same Antifa crowd, called him a white nationalist or a Nazi at a Tim Pool event last year. It's hilarious. This big black man is a Nazi. It's actually when you get into an echo chamber that bad ideas start to grow like weeds, because there's nothing there to push back or to stunt their growth. And in fact, that is today's modern social media, where you can pick and choose exactly the voices that match yours, that amplify your own. Meeting people who think differently in person might be the last way that we can actually stem the rise of divisive politics.
You don't owe them anything, especially forgiveness, because it's okay if you don't forgive them for what they've done. Separating families, empowering white supremacists, bringing back Kid Rock.
That was sarcastic.
Your sympathy and empathy are important and necessary gifts, but you don't have to give those gifts away at the expense of your humanity. It is not a white elephant party with your office. It's a red elephant party, and all of their gifts are bad and hate black people.
My God, she's certainly doing all she can to make me hate her.
So if you needed someone to tell you this, here goes. You do not have to go to their weddings, and you do not have to invite them to yours. Your uncle isn't weird. Weird uncles have eye patches and tell ghost stories. Your uncle is a racist.
It's amazing to me how many times they can repeat that everyone else is a racist. You repeat a lie enough times, you repeat it loud enough, and some people are going to eventually believe it. I guess that all the black people that voted for Donald Trump, well, they're racist against black people too.
And if he has an eye patch, you have a weird uncle who is also a racist. And whenever we can have Thanksgiving together again, you don't have to go. And if you do go, you can tell everybody that Uncle Patchy ain't shit. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying anything radical. I'm not saying burn it down. Yet.
Yup, that's a coming. Actually, it's already here. Think of all the businesses in the nation that have been burnt and or looted into oblivion, to the ground. All the work that went into them, all the dreams, all the sweat equity that was destroyed because of people like this hateful runt. Bunt. Wait, one letter up.
But really, I'm not saying cuss everyone out. I'm just saying you don't have to be sweet to everyone. Kindness is your gift to dole out as you see fit, and I really want you to hear this. Searching for the good in someone who thinks nothing of you is how they condition us to become accustomed to being treated like shit.
You mean exactly how you're instructing your listeners to treat others?
Don't become accustomed to being treated like shit. You don't have to be nice to Trump supporters. You don't have to find ways to get close to them. In fact, you shouldn't get close to them because they're probably not wearing a mask. They deserve to lose and they lost. And they're allowed to be sad, but you're allowed to laugh at them because after all the things they did to us, this shit is funny as hell.
She is exemplifying exactly what hate speech is. Thank you. She is literally telling you to stay away from, to be divisive, and despise anybody who might have supported Donald Trump. She is telling you without evidence that every single supporter of Donald Trump was a racist and is one, just by virtue of the fact of who they voted for. She's not some fringe Black Lives Matter activist. She is being promoted by a super powerful corporation that is sending her message out to many, 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 many more homes than she would reach naturally through her own voice. And these executives that are making the decision, that are in charge of the purse strings and shareholders' money, are the ones who are allowing this and propagating this message forward. They should be held to account. This is what I find truly scary, that there are so many people out there in the executive world that are willing to put their shareholders' money, their reputations on the line to spread this divisive and hateful message, to set this forward into motion in the world. And I just don't understand how the mainstream media is platforming such hateful people. Now, this is America, and she absolutely has the right to spout her hateful rhetoric, just as members of the KKK or neo-Nazis do. However, we as concerned citizens have the right to make fun of her, to satirize her message, and call her out for being the hateful bigot that she is. My message to you guys, have a very happy Thanksgiving, and look across the table at somebody of a different political ideology than you, and remember that they aren't that different than you. Inside, they just want to share a little bit of good food. They want a little bit of love, and maybe even some laughter. Something that will be in short supply if Amber Ruffin is at your dinner table. Peace and blessings to everybody out there. Have a happy Thanksgiving. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all notifications. Otherwise, YouTube will not notify you of new videos. Thumb up this video. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Peace and blessings.